I was very interested. I'm not going to summarise. I'm just going to go back and say what I've taken from it. I didn't really know about the whole Maroons being so vast across different countries. I found that really interesting. And from what you said, the growth of Maroon ship across different countries has had some implications. That's what I'm going to say. It's definitely, as I said, I used the word washed some of the practices out that I think that we maybe, like what you and Matt were just saying, could actually be brought to the forefront in the way that we operate and we conduct ourselves. I think it's really interesting as well that there's the differences in the way that, you know, that, as you were saying about the empresses being seen in a different way, and that's not actually brought forward more within the, because I never actually knew that side of it. I knew obviously about Nana,
Queen
Nana,
Nani.
yeah, definitely. But in terms of the way that the Maroons see leadership for womanhood being important, I don't think that's really publicised out there or pushed out there.
I mean,
enough.
to be fair, every female leader that I've known has had their challenges against kind of the hyper masculinized aspect of what it means to be a chief. Yeah, so there have been misogynistic undertones to women attaining those positions, even though we know that matriarchy is a strong part of the culture. There has been years throughout Maroon history where you don't have democracy in a sense.
Yeah,
there has been points
where we're not included.
But there've been points in history where Maroon chieftaincy has kind of gone down to a son or a nephew.
Right, so
it's
just
only maybe the last 20, 30 years that we've started having elections and running campaigns. Before that, it was just kind of nepotism would have been the order of the day. So it would have been handed down to someone, and then you get, at that point, entitlement. And then when I went to Africa, I saw that, but I'll kind of get into
it a bit more through your journey of it. So yeah, just a very interesting part of the whole vast, that it's not just seen as Ghanaian and Jamaican, which I would have associated it with more. And that's what would spark my interest, to find out how that's been now put across other countries, and the unifying side of it as well.
Yeah, that's something that we need to look at.
That's definitely, because the part that I'm not liking is the washing of it, losing it, and it's so minute already. There's only a few people, you were saying.
Well, this is, I mean, this is to give you an example of how Maroon populations in Jamaica have been dwindling. I think Alex's, the Mile priest, his daughter, I think, is about 2. And it was the first child born in Moortown for 4 years. I mean, that's how the exodus...
Maybe more women do need to be brought into it then.
Well, I mean, I think ultimately rural communities that have experienced economic isolation for many years, like our generations younger, culture is not going to be the same motivator as it was 20, 30, 40 years ago. So you'll find people leaving for work and not coming back. And that happens quite regularly, to be fair, in Maroon communities in Jamaica, where the populations are dwindling. When you get that kind of negative press, when you kind of get language from some of the chiefs at points in the history speaking about Maroons being a separate peoples in Jamaica, that's kind of created issues for the way Maroons engage with kind of the wider Jamaican populace. And I think that needs to change as well.
Yeah.
And I think that was kind of the issue that some of the chiefs had with Chief Curry when he first came in, is that it felt to them like he was trying to separate Maroon communities from the rest of Jamaica. And actually, if you go to any Maroon community, apart from some of the, I mean, you'll see Andinka symbols, you'll see kind of, you'll see aspects of Africa. Akwaba sits at the front of all of the Maroon communities, which is totally for welcome.
It brings in a lot of different cultural practices. As you said, it covered Mali. You said quite a different few countries in Africa, isn't it, through the practice? So it's actually unifying, I think.
Well, I mean, yeah. I'd like to think so. I mean, time will tell how we as Maroon communities in the diaspora are able to kind of connect. And I think the councils, setting up councils is one of the best way to kind of plan global action. And you're going to go into that in the next part of your... Yeah, my initiation. Okay. Did you have any questions?
Yeah, I mean, so is that a thing where the Maroons trying to be separate. I didn't really.
It's not. I wouldn't say the Maroons trying to be separate. I think when Richard Curry specifically was trying to speak up around some of the issues around zoning, some of the language he used was perceived as isolationist.
Richard Curry is
the current chief of a compo.
And that's a Maroon head, and so she was perceived. He was perceived as trying to be separatist, but that isn't as. What I'm getting is there a desire to be, like you got tribal logic in Africa where well, we want to be this is our land, we are us, you are you. Yeah, we can intermingle, but we are us. We need you to understand we are us. Is that something that happens with the Maroon
but I think
thing?
politically, because our numbers are so small and places,
It's not helpful.
It make more sense in a political move to encompass as much of the Jamaican population as possible.
But that is typical Maroon culture.
Yeah.
To stay to themselves.
Yeah, I mean,
I thought it was all like
in forms
obviously because it's not it's not an ethnicity.
No way.
You're right. So I figured I didn't know that there was that. I just the ones that run away.
It's an ideology.
Made their community right.
Yeah, it's an ideology. That has cultural ties, or admixed syncretized cultural ties.